Hi, this is Jathan. Um, I kind of just wanted to do a little video here where I wanted to just talk about the stuff I've been playing lately, the games I've been playing, because to be honest, I've been playing some pretty good stuff actually lately, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it, just to hear, just talk to the wind about it, pretty much, you know. And it's pretty late right now actually because I ended up beating one of the games that I'm about to talk about, and now I'm kind of hit with the post game depression right now, and I'm trying to decide what I want to play next. Actually, to my left right now, I'm installing the sequel to the game I just beat. And I've been debating if I want to actually jump right into it or kind of play something else to make sure it doesn't feel like stale if the new game's because it's like kind of the same. Um, but anyway, so the first game I wanted to talk about is Little Nightmares 3, which came out uh, around October 10th, like kind of like around start mid of the month. Um, it's kind of funny. Two of the games that I'm going to talk about came out on literally the same day, um, which is funny. And I think I bought them both on the same day. Maybe one I bought like a day or two later. I forget. But anyway, Little Nightmares 3. So I love Little Nightmares, obviously. I love specifically the second one. I love Little Nightmares 2. Little Nightmares 1 is good and I like it a lot, but 2 just has like a different vibe and feeling for me. And I didn't know exactly what it was. I feel like the tone of it with like kind of the blue kind of like aura and style with like in the art style with like it's kind of like blue and like foggy and all that. I don't know, something about it like clicked with me way more. And then you have like the tower and everything, like with the radio frequency. It's really cool. I really love Little Nightmares too. It's probably one of my favorite horror games. Um, I actually fucking I thought I forgot about it actually just now until I thought about it. But I bought a physical of Little Nightmares 2 because I'd been wanting one for a long time, and it's actually down at the post office um, right now. I'm kind of tempted to. I kind of want to see if I want to walk down and go get that. Maybe after this, because it's like fucking 11 a.m. at night, like 11:30. So maybe I'll walk down and get that quick. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, Little Nightmares 2 is my favorite out of those two. I love that one so much. Um, and when Little Nightmares 3 originally got like revealed and announced, I didn't really like it. I wasn't really as interested in it because I don't know, it kind of just had like a way different kind of vibe in like it had a way different vibe than the second game did. Where I really liked the second game's tone and the third one kind of seemed like not like that even because the third game is made by Supermassive instead of Tarsier Studios, which I wasn't really as worried about that. Um, but specifically because of how the game looked in the art style, because I remember seeing like the sand part, um, and thinking, oh, this isn't like the kind of blue style that I like. It was I don't know, just something about it didn't really stick for me. Um, and Tarsier Studios is working on Reanimal right now, and that kind of fit my mold more of what I liked from Little Nightmares 2's style. So I was really, really fucking hyped for Reanimal. And I was mainly looking forward to that. But with Little Nightmares 3, I was kind of just like, I might play it, probably. We'll see. And then as months went by, it kind of just got lost from my radar. I didn't really think about it too much. I did hear that there was going to be co-op in it, which I was like, okay, that could be interesting. You know, I have like a friend or two I could probably try that with. Um, so cut to cut back to like maybe a couple like the start of October when I was like, oh shit, Little Nightmares 3 is actually coming out soon. Um, and I wasn't really like I didn't really have anything specific I was playing that I was like really getting like sucked into. And I saw it came out or it was coming out, and I was like, you know what? It's cheaper than most like new games. I'll buy it, and I ended up pre ordering it actually, Little Nightmares 3, because for some reason I just got like instantly really excited for it again, and I don't know why. I didn't really see much of it. I saw that there was a demo released. I didn't see anything of the demo. I just kind of wanted to go into it just not knowing anything and just have that blind experience. Um, so I ended up playing it, and I really fucking enjoyed it. I don't know what it was. I went into it and I was just really immersed with it. I have my TV just basically set up on the ground here next to my PS5, and I'll just basically just sit like this or like lay like on my stomach, just playing it or just playing games in general on the PS5. And I really fucking enjoyed Little Nightmares 3. And I was actually really sad at how short it was, because these, Little Nightmares games, they're very short games. They don't really go any higher than like 7 hours probably, like that, and that's being generous, like 5 or 4 hours at, you know something like that. But I ended up finishing Little Nightmares 3 in like 4 hours, and I was like, damn, there's nothing else, because it was like, I just really liked it. I really liked the settings that they had. And keep in mind, I'm going to talk a decent bit about these games, so if you don't want to like hear anything spoiled, don't listen to this. But the way that, like, they had the intro sand level, the one that I was skeptical about, it was like really well done. It had like a giant creepy ass like baby doll in fucking. Then you went to this like other area that had this. It was like a candy factory area, and it was like all creepy and shit. There was a spider lady, and then you had the next, which was like a carnival area with like a puppeteer, and oh god, it was so cool. I really loved the vibe and setting of it. And to be honest, if I didn't know that it wasn't made by Supermassive, I don't know if I would have been able to tell that it was made by a different team, because it felt like it really had this the Little Nightmares like style and feeling intact. Um, it didn't feel exactly like two style, but just Little Nightmares in general, I feel like. And I know that there's kind of like differing opinions of it online, because a lot of people don't really like it and felt like it was more of the same, which it was. And it has a bit of like issues with like maybe like how it's paced, or like the puzzles, and it's like the world's not really feeling like interconnected. You do go through like mirrors to travel to these different areas that I was talking about, like the sand area and the candy factory and all that shit. So it does feel a little less interconnected than something like Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Where with Little Nightmares 2, you went from like the hunter to and you like went across the whole fucking like ocean to like the whole city, and then you met the teacher in the school and all that. Um, so I do get that, but for me, it really just felt like a Little Nightmares game. I really really liked it. So and to be honest, I was really confused there for me, because I thought for a minute, because I saw that there was DLC like expansions that were going to come out for it, and I thought that they'd release the same day, and then I found out they weren't, and I was like, oh, okay. And I was like really confused by that. Um, but yeah, whenever those come out, or whenever that comes out, I'll definitely be giving that a try. And it kind of just made me really love Little Nightmares again. And I'll probably end up replaying too, because of that physical copy I talked about. And yeah, that was basically it. So I was really happy to have played Little Nightmares 3. Even if it was a short experience, I honestly didn't really. I felt like I got my money's worth. Fucking everyone's price range is different for like stuff where like if they spend a decent bit of money, they feel like they need to get this many hours out of it and all that, and that's understandable. It's your money, you decide your worth with it and all that. Um, but those 4 hours, I really enjoyed what I spent, and definitely probably will go through it again. Whenever I forget about it a bit more, because it was really a good time. So yeah, I've been really happy to get back into like the Little Nightmares lore, and just just the feeling of playing them again, because I love the Little Nightmares games. I remember watching lots of old Let's Plays of people playing the first Little Nightmares game, because that was pretty big when that came out back in 2017 and all that. Everyone was doing a series of it. I remember watching Dan TDM specifically play it, and that's where I kind of like learned about Little Nightmares originally. And then when Little Nightmares 2 came out at launch, I played that at launch, I think, or at least close to launch, because I was really hyped for it. And it's kind of funny, too, because uh, a friend of mine brought up how they didn't know that Little Nightmares 3 had come out. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I played and beat that. It was great. I loved it. But yeah, Little Nightmares 3, really, really highly recommend, too, I highly recommend a lot of stuff, but just if a game makes me feel like immersed and just really satisfied at the end, it's a highly recommend for me. So yeah, the next game I wanted to talk about is the other game that came out on the same day that Little Nightmares 3 came out, which was funny. Battlefield 6. Um, Now, I mainly just play single player stuff, especially as of late. I fell off of multiplayer stuff, and I kind of have like a back and forth with it too, where I'll go from really wanting to play a multiplayer thing to being like, okay, I don't really feel like I need to play this anymore. And I have like itches that I have for multiplayer games where I'll just really want to play something online and I'll play like a match or two or a couple and then be like, okay, I'm done now, and then just delete it. Um, but I think with I remember because Battlefield 6, they had the beta and everything, and I didn't really end up like thinking too much of it. I'd seen like all the videos and everyone's thoughts and everything of Battlefield 6, but that was another thing like Little Nightmares 3 where I just really wasn't as interested in it when everyone else was kind of like talking about it before it came out. Um, but I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just me seeing gameplay of it from the beta. Maybe it was just the fact that, you know, it was a new multiplayer online game that like was coming out that like I could be there at the start of it, like the launch kind of, because my history with the Battlefield games is that I've only really played one, and even then I didn't play it at launch. But from what I played of it on the PC, it was really really fun. It was really fun. It was really like cool and immersive, and I really wanted to play more of it. But it just sucked that I wasn't playing it like in its prime, and I was also playing it on PC where it was kind of hard to like find good servers that like ran good and also had a decent bit of people. So I kind of stopped playing Battlefield 1. I played like a very tiny bit of Battlefield 4s and played the campaign for Battlefield 4s as well. Maybe Battlefield 3s as well, I forget. I tried both of them. I didn't finish any of them, but I definitely tried them. Um, I do want to try Battlefield Bad Company's campaigns because Battlefield Bad Company 1 and two's campaigns look kind of like they have like very funny and quirky characters. So maybe that's something I'll have to get a physical for at some point. Anyway, um, so Battlefield 6 is coming out, and I don't know, I just kind of got excited for that too. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna buy this. It was $70, so it was like, okay, this is a commitment for something that I really wasn't that interested into up until like a little bit before it was coming out. But I don't know, I just kind of got into the hype and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this because I nothing was really doing it for me in terms of multiplayer. I didn't really feel like playing anything multiplayer related. The last big multiplayer related game I got into for a little bit was Halo Infinite again, not because the first time I got into Halo Infinite's multiplayer, I really liked it and then fell off. And then I went back into it with a friend who hadn't played it at all, and we just had a blast going through that. That was really fun. Um, but I got Halo or not Halo. I got Battlefield 6 and really really liked it. I definitely had my problems with it as someone who doesn't like fully play Battlefield or didn't play the previous games. I mainly just came into it with like I tried getting rid of my COD mindset when I was playing it, and it definitely took a bit of adjusting, and I'm still kind of adjusting too. I've sunk about like 20 or so hours into it so far, where I've kind of just gone like I'll get on, play a couple games, and then just pop out. And I was cool with that. I felt like that was pretty good for me. I like just kind of like hopping in, feeling like I've done a decent bit of stuff. I have my fun, and I could just hop out and play a different game or go to work or whatever. Yeah. So my complaints with Battlefield 6 mainly came with um, the fact that the progression was very slow, and I don't know if that's how that is with all the Battlefield games, but the progression was pretty slow for me, at least. Um, the maps aren't like great, or they're not all of them I really like necessarily. There are two maps in the game that I actually get excited for when I see, and I forget their names exactly, but I know them when I see them. And those are the two where I'm like, oh fuck, I'm really excited to let's get into this. And then the other ones I'm just like, nah, I don't know about that. Um, and then the other thing that kind of I'm still struggling with a lot, but really want to get better with is the fact aiming. Really, it sounds kind of dumb, but I mainly play FPSs on keyboard and mouse. So trying to transition to controller for PS5 has been pretty hard for me sometimes. Sometimes I'll like go off, and then sometimes it feels like I'm not aiming shit, and it can be hard a lot of the times. The reason I got it on the PS5 instead of the PC is because my PC is pretty dog shit. It is very, very underpowered for stuff that's come out like in the past couple years. So I haven't really bought anything on the PC, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll just buy it on the PS5 where it can run and try to get used to the controller. And it's harder than I think sometimes because like sniping is really hard for me. So I'll get like really frustrated, or I'll get frustrated when it feels like I should be hitting shots and I'm not. Um, I know that there have been other people who have kind of commented on the controller aiming feeling a bit weird in this game, so I don't know if all of it's on me. I definitely think a majority of it is definitely on me for sure because I just suck at shooters on controller. But there is a bit where I'm like, how much of this is really me? So I don't know. So I felt like I've been in settings a lot with Battlefield 6, just trying to like if I'm not playing the game, I'm just in the settings trying to figure out like the best way to work around it. And there's a lot of like they go in depth with a lot of the aim settings too, so it can be kind of overwhelming. So I'll try to like look up videos and stuff, trying to find some way to circumnavigate the whole thing and try to be good at the same time. But it's hard. So sometimes like I've had sessions over like the past couple days where I'll like quit like sooner than I want to because I'm like I feel like I can't do shit. I'm not really doing good at it. But then I bring myself into like wanting to play it again cuz like even with like all my frustrations with it, like I still want to keep like it's not like I hate or dislike the game or anything. I like going back into it. I always have the desire to kind of like go back into it. Um it just can be kind of hard sometimes when knowing like oh god I'll probably be terrible at it again with aiming, but I'm trying my best with it. One thing that is nice about playing Battlefield 6 lately is the fact that I convinced a friend to get it, or actually I won't go too deep into it, but basically yeah he got the game, and we've been playing it together. Like every session that I'm playing Battlefield 6, he's kind of just hopped in, and it's kind of like the game that me and him just play whenever like we're not really like talking like on the phone or texting. We're just playing Battlefield 6. It's been kind of nice too because it's been a minute since me and him have like had a game that we can just play, you know? Um Whenever cuz we're either the last thing we played together, me and him, was we played Spec Ops for Modern Warfare 2, the old one, the 2009 one. We played the Spec Ops missions and just kind of went through those on Veteran and grinded them all, and that was a blast. Fuck the juggernauts in those though, and the rocket launchers, and just most of the AI in that on Veteran is bullshit. But it was really fun. We really enjoyed that, but we didn't really have anything for like a decent bit after that. So um, when I brought up Battlefield 6, like he just kind of got like hooked into it too. So that's what we kind of have been doing lately, and it's been really fun. Um, like I said, obviously with me being like kind of bad at it at times, it is kind of hard for me to be like to like always want to go into it, especially if I'm playing another game at the time. But I really liked playing it with him. It's been really really fun, except for the times where it's not been. But I'm definitely excited to play more Battlefield 6, especially. I know definitely with everything I just said, it definitely sounds like I was way more negative on Battlefield 6 than I was positive. But really, I really liked what I played of it. And it definitely seems like a return to form for Battlefield, especially with the bullshit that was 2042. I just need to get better at it. That's all it really is. I mainly play. I've been playing engineer a lot lately, but I cannot take down takes for the life of me. And my friends have been playing healer, so that's been a fun dynamic, kind of going through that shit. So yeah, Battlefield 6. I have been having a lot of fun. I'm excited for season one of it, which I think is either the end of this month or the next 2 months. I think it's the end of this month. Yeah, the end of this month we get like a new map and shit. I forget if that's when season one starts or if that comes with season one. I don't remember. But the end of this month we're going to begin some new stuff, so that's going to be fun for Battlefield 6. And the last game I kind of want to talk about is the one I just beat, like an hour or two ago, which was I played Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I'd played before, but never finished it. I think I got like a couple hours into it when I played it on PC, and then kind of just didn't finish it and fell off of it for a bit there. But it was a game I'd always wanted to beat because I wanted to play its sequel, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, because I'd seen a bit of it and I'd heard a song from the game, and I was like, oh god, this sounds like fun. I want to play this. So, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was what I actually wanted to play. But because of it being like a sequel to Yakuza Like a Dragon, I felt like I had to play and beat that first um, before I could play it, Infinite Wealth, or I wouldn't enjoy it because, it has like ties to the other game in terms of story. And my history with the Yakuza games is that I have not really ever gotten into them. I have bought Yakuza 0, and I think I opened the game, I think, and I think my dumbass, I opened the game and it just wasn't grabbing me like after the first like couple minutes, and I was like, nope, not playing it. Which I don't know why I do that sometimes. So it depends what mood I'm in too. But I kind of stopped with Yakuza 0 and tried Yakuza Like a Dragon on the PC. And it's a turn-based game too. It's not like the other Yakuza games, which are more of like brawlers kind of with like hack and slash. Not really hack and slash game, or maybe hack and slash, but they're more so just like like mashing buttons kind of and doing like combos and stuff kind of gameplay. But Yakuza Like a Dragons was turn-based, so I play it. So cut to me. I play it. I buy it on PC on Steam. I play it, and to be honest, the story really grips me. Fucking. I love the protagonist. I love the protagonist, Ichiban Kasuga. He's probably one of my favorite video game protagonists actually because he's just really likable. And he's voiced by. It took me a bit because me and my sister originally brought it up because he's the same voice actor for Hero from Danganronpa, and I was like, that's where I know him from. I knew his voice sounded familiar, um, but yeah. So I played on PC. I really like the story's really gripping. I'm really excited to keep playing it, but I just kind of stopped, um, and I don't know why. I don't remember exactly why I stopped. Something wasn't gripping me, I guess. Maybe it was the gameplay. I'm not sure. Maybe I was just at a part of the story where I didn't really care. I'm not sure, but I end up buying it again on PS5, and kind of just am like, you know what? I'm gonna try to go through this again, and which I was kind of like skeptical of because I was like, oh god, I hope I'm not like wasting more money by buying it again on the PS5 because I just wanted to play it just on the PS5, just on the ground here, and I was worried that I was gonna play it about to where I did last time, or like maybe not play it as long and then be like, I'm done with this now. But I ended up going through and beating the whole thing, and to be honest, it was really really fun. It was really cool, and the story was really gripping. The gameplay, like the turn-based gameplay, was way better than most other turn-based games that I played because of like how it integrates this like real life kind of vibe, but like with a fantasy twist to it. Like the animations for like the different moves and how like absurd they are is really fun and funny and satisfying. Um, and the enemies, the fucking Sujimon, as they call them in the game, which is like Pokemon, but it's people instead. Have like there's really cool enemies and like a lot of different variety, which is really cool. Um, and it's kind of funny. The game reminds me a lot of Shenmue, which I think is the Yakuza games. Like whenever I see them, it basically just reminds me of Shenmue. Like Shenmue was like a precursor to Yakuza in like some kind of ways. Um, and maybe that's just because of like the Japanese setting, but I'm not sure. But they all gave me vibes of Shenmue, but they're much more fun to play than Shenmue ever was. For me at least. And I played and beat both Shenmue 1 and 2, okay? So, yeah. So, Yakuza, I really loved the main cast of Like a Dragon. I really loved the main cast. It is very rare for me to really get attached to video game characters that I actually care about, like what happens to them. Like, because there's a lot of different characters in video games where like they just feel either bland or one note, or they just don't really have anything that like makes me care about them. But with the voice acting and the writing, it actually felt like they felt like, I don't know, they just felt like my friends. They had like backstories to them and all that, and they were like pretty complex. And that's also for the fact that it's a JRPG as well. So like obviously it would be kind of concerning if they didn't have story to them, but I actually like really started to care about them. And to be honest, that hadn't happened where I'd cared about a video game cast, like characters, since I want to say like Rebirth, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, when I really like absolutely cared about them. Obviously, I played games since that because I beat that like last year, and obviously I played a bunch of games since then. But Rebirth's like depiction of those original like Final Fantasy VII characters were so good, and it left me wanting so much more. And playing this kind of reminded me of that, with like how much I like the cast and the characters, and just seeing how the story unraveled. And with this, I had no clue what was going to happen too, so it made it even better. Where just every twist and turn, and then the ending at the end of this game. Oh my god, I actually cried, and I don't like whenever a game makes me cry. It says a lot about its story, because like even some like sad stories in games I haven't cried to, even though I'm like, oh damn, that's really sad. But this one actually got me to cry at the end with the uh fucking scene at the end with Ichiban and Masato at the fucking lockers where they basically fucking where both of them were hid. Oh god, it's such a wild thing too. And I was just fucking I actually was just really surprised. It was a good long ride. It was like I think I clocked in at like 41 hours when I was done with it, which is longer for most games I play. Um, but how it was where I would just go to work and then just come back and just be really excited to play like a dragon, to like finish it up and see what happens more with the story. And I like just having that game where I always like look forward to just coming back and binging a decent bit of it, because I've been up like a decent bit of hours over like the past couple of days, just kind of grinding out this game. And I really like having that because it just gives me something nice to look forward to. So I really loved Yakuza Like a Dragon. It definitely has me wanting to go back and play Yakuza Zero, which I again that's what I've been debating about. I've been debating if I want to go and play Yakuza Zero before I play Infinite Wealth, but part of me just also wants to just jump right into Infinite Wealth. So I'm not sure, but whatever I end up doing, whatever I end up doing basically. I just kind of hope to have the same feeling that I did with Yakuza Like a Dragon, because it really did feel like a journey. It really just felt like a fun, just journey, like Dragon Quest style, with a bunch of cool cast members and all that. I'm trying to think if there was any specific complaints I had with it, with the game. Um, I mean, there was some definitely like stuff I could nitpick at, like the fact that fucking you retrying battles if you've lost like if you die, if Ichiban dies, um the amount like needed to retry the battle is like dependent on how much money you have, like instead of like a set value. So you could run out of money real quick if you want to like if you like are trying to retry battles you've done. That was kind of annoying because I had like millions of yen, and it got to a point where like it took like 1 million in order to like revive him or whatever. And I was like, that's kind of bullshit. Um, but other than that, uh, oh, also fucking, Yakuza games are known for like their side quests too, which I didn't really get as into the side quests in this as I thought I would from what I've heard people say, but there was definitely some good ones for sure. Um, fucking, it's also just it's way funnier than I thought it would be. It's just there's been a lot of moments where I was just like, oh, that's kind of quirky, that's kind of silly. So yeah, Yakuza Like a Dragon. And that's pretty much what I've been playing as of late, for October at least. And there's been a couple of other stuff I've kind of been like flipping through, but nothing like I have with those three games, where those are like the ones where I'm thinking of like right this minute or like as of late. And probably at the end of the year, when I end up doing like my video that talks about everything I've beaten for 2025, then like I'll probably like go into the same amount, probably not in the same amount of detail as I am now with them, but just kind of like gloss over them and be like, hey, this is also the stuff I played for October. And with there only being like, what is it? It's like the 20, or it's going to be the 23rd in like 8 minutes, I think, or the 22nd. I think it's the 23rd. I might be wrong. I don't know. But with there only being a couple more days left, I'm trying to think about what I'll probably end up beating before the month's over, because um, I did see that Infinite Wealth is a way longer game than Yakuza Like a Dragon was. Um, but so that's another reason too, where I was like, do I want to play another long game after I just beat a long game? But I'll probably just end up going either into that one, maybe giving it a shot at the very least. At the very least, I'll give it a try. Anyway, I'm kind of just spiraling now with the same thoughts and feelings and things I've already said. But yeah, that's what I've been playing, and I'm excited to see what I end up playing, because I just like having games, just games I'm really excited to like come back into, especially with how life can be with like work and me stressing on my own head. It's it's really nice to just have just a comfort game to go back into and to be immersed into, kind of just forget the outside world for a little bit. So that's quite nice. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for listening to me babble for 30 minutes about video games. And I just love video games. So yeah. Anyway, you guys have a good night. I will probably, you know what? I actually might go down to the post office at fucking midnight. At midnight, and go get that Little Nightmares 2 copy I was talking about. This is my evidence if I get kidnapped. So, yeah. Peace.